Hi, this is PhD Alb Seddigh Afshar. I'm going to invent a bunch of ideas for my dad to give him longer years because he gets more socioeconomic status as he's more wealthy. It's May 22, 2015, 12:58. So I would say I'm at, I think you mentioned 1030. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure, but it's 12:58 p.m. at May 22. So I'm going to invent for that. I'm going to go for 18 inventions. Okay, to give him maximum youth. Okay, so I'll dice 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. Okay. So I got a D, J, B or L. Okay. I'm not sure if that's taking the mail. Yeah, okay. That's D, G, B or L. Okay, I'm taking the mail. I'll get back soon. Someone at the door. So it's DGB. So that would be okay. D is diffusion, is LND is temperature, J is current, LND is temperature is resistance. So J squared LND is J squared temperature to the power of n times the flow constant is J squared R, which is work per velocity, that's a force. B is work in the B is VB is VBQ is a force. So let me see how I work in the B. So B equals VB equals E is the electric field equals voltage per X. So VB is E per X. So voltage is surface per time B. Okay. So voltage is ER. So I squared R, it becomes voltage is surface per time B times I. Okay. So that becomes the same as work per velocity is a force. Okay. So that's these are forces at that point of VB times X is surface per time B. This times I is this times I equals work this divided by velocity equals force. I suppose if you increase the magnetic field, you increase the force in the electromotor. If you increase the current, you increase the force also. Independently of if you increase the magnetic field, it might be the magnetic field working on it. So it might be the magnetic field of a constant magnet in the electromotor, if there's a constant magnet involved. So if you use a stronger magnet, then the surface. So obviously, if you increase the surface, apparently, according to this particular law, of the opposing coil. Now see there is one of the coils. So one of the coils can be big, the other coil can be small. As I said, a small coil might lead to a larger. So if you get into one of the coils of the electromotor can be big, the other one can be small. The opposing coil of the rotating, which might be a constant magnet, so you could get into the surface of the magnet in effect. Permanent magnets being big or small, opposing the coil, versus one of them is small, one is big, maybe. So you already have a surface term there. Versus the velocity is divided by velocity, so it's with higher velocity, its force decreases apparently. But you can make it elegant by cancelling out the surface against each other, so velocity against each other, so it's a surface per time divided by velocity is just distance, so just the distance increases the force, or a radius, I think. So I think it might be radius, so it might be the surface of the coil, in fact, if you want to call it a radius, not necessarily the distance between the coils. So I think at large distance the force are usually weaker, so it's nicely bigger. So at that point it that's that one. So that would be the force, then a bunch of forces, 2, 3 forces I mentioned, and by also making them elegant, the different formulations of it. Then the electromotor based on each of these force phenomena, so for instance increasing the magnetic field, increasing the current according to this force, decreasing velocity, but if you cancel velocity instead, increasing the radius, for instance, and increasing the surface, but then okay, so each of these are separate inventions that you can into. I mentioned all these things as different phenomena for the electromotor. You can also do them for the dynamo and for the generator. So you can get into you get, for instance, different surface for the generator, kinetic energy conversion to electric surface of it, magnetic field, and being the permanent magnet in it, the surface of it being different, increases the force of the coils of the generator. For the hospital, for instance, generator, and for the magnet, the permanent magnet being different, that's 5. It's 10 already, okay, together. Then we get into, you can use the generator for a hospital. And then you can use it for dynamo 2, these forces, that's 12. Then you can make it exponential, above exponential, and linear. Then you can use first to 500, the exponential, above exponential, linear. That's 6, okay. That's 16. So first to 1000th above exponential linear, so you can make the linear, the first linear to 10th linear, 100th linear, 1000th linear. Okay, so that would be for the linears. Then for the exponential, the first linear, the second linear, the 1000th, the 100th linear, and 1000th linear. That's that one. Each of these being a tenfold increase in power, adds in types of arrays and serial couplings and parallel couplings. And as for the above exponential, first linear, 10th linear, 100th linear, and 1000th linear. Okay, of 1000 individual units forming an array of these things, or 100 individual units of these things forming an array, or a serial coupling, or a parallel coupling. Okay, so that would be 18 ideas to make my dad a what I would say puts him at $500 million if it's net 30 million each. Okay, So I'm not saying it definitely is, but if it would be, at that point it would be considered 30 million each. Maybe. So it makes him a multimillionaire anyway, so he lives longer because he's proven nerd. It's got that status, not just that I promised him. This stuff is said in my mouth, said in my head, who stored some in my head also for him. But I actually get it published online so he gets the actual reputation. I would say he pays taxes out of this too, in bell curve taxes, so he actually ends up being still a billionaire. I think if you start counting each of these 10 exponentials as separate ideas, 10th, 100th, etc., and 1000th, okay, so I think he can pay bell curve taxes over it. At that point, I think he's still above 500 million, being a billionaire in effect. So I just made my dad a billionaire in 10 minutes. So I said it's an hour billionaire. It turns out it's a 10-minute billionaire. That's it.